In today's video, we're going to be exploring this apartment complex behind me built out of shipping containers. We're going to be walking through this with the designer, Afua, who's going to be talking us through the building process and a bit of the fun stuff in between. If you're interested in shipping container homes, we have a playlist that I'll link up here so that you can check this out and learn some more about it. Afua.
Hi.
Hi. Really nice to be here. Beautiful property you have.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit about what we're looking at right now?
Okay, so we have over here shipping container homes that are for short rentals, basically. So we've built it in such a way that it is adaptable for people to come and stay for, small periods of time. There are two 40-foot structures that we put together on top of each other, and then we have the inside furnished all the way from, inception all the way down, so that it is completely habitable.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what this is.
Can you tell us a little bit about your construction process, putting this whole thing together? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Okay. So it wasn't an easy journey. It was very there's a lot of processes that we went through. There was a lot of stuff that we needed to make sure and take care of. We had thankfully some help from a contractor, and we had an architect in the initial stages. To put the containers on, you need to put on a solid foundation, right?
Okay.
So we had to build the foundation first. Then we had cranes bringing the containers all the way. We had it delivered, and then they had to stack it on top of each other. And then once that was done, we had the base structure, and everything else from there was a bit more of a breeze.
Right.
So we worked inside on, demarcating the rooms, and then we came outside to do the cladding and the roofing and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about your role in this. What part did you play?
So I'm the designer for this structure. Yeah.
Okay.
So which is why I was saying. So when we did have the opportunity to do this, we came together. We had a design. We had a concept. We were thinking, okay, this is the constraints. This is what we need to work with. We're not playing with the form too much. We're not going to disrupt the form the way it is.
Okay.
So how does it work best? How is it going to be so that people are comfortable, given the constraints of space? And that containers are infamous for being hot inside. So you need to also think about how it's going to work so that people are comfortable, basically. Especially seeing as we want to make it a place that people are staying.
Right.
So so we did that. We had all of that in place, and then we had to seek external help from an architect, and then we had a contractor again in the beginning of the process. So to help us, get our footings and put the structure up, and then from there, interiors is the core of what we do. So that was easy to take care of. Yeah, but it was a village of, specialized people, that came together.
Why shipping containers though? Why did you decide to use this material in particular?
So at the time, we wanted something that was modular and quick. We wanted to have something that was up very quickly, right? And the best solution at that time was to use the shipping container. So we just went ahead, and of course, they already come in their own form. You don't need to alterate it too much. So again, that's why I was saying that we had to work within the constraints of what the form already is.
Right.
And so basically, because we already had the structure, it would make it easier for us to put it up quicker. The process was semi smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you previously worked with containers? Have you?
No, this was
your first.
This was our initial,
build.
This is our initial
from scratch.
From scratch.
So who's in your team? How many, what are we talking about? Architects, contractor? So it's like a group.
For
Tell me
this
a bit
project,
about,
yes.
yeah.
So for this project, we had an architect on board. We had a contractor on board. Then we had the designers, those of us that come in from Velvet Heights.
Okay.
We also had, you know, all of these different people that specialize in different things.
Things
so
come together.
Yeah, that's basically.
Okay. So I want to walk through this with you really quickly, and then we'll come back and talk about a bit more of the technical stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. Great. So after you.
Okay.
Just take us off. Let's just start from here before we even go in. Let's
From
talk
where?
a bit about your cladding.
Okay,
And
sure.
then your exterior, the plants you've got here. Just tell me a bit about this, and then this is supposed to be a little pergola sort of, or is a window? Just
Yes. Okay. So
tell me a bit about the exterior.
All right. So what we wanted to try and keep a natural feel to the whole thing. We don't want the heaviness of the container to, you know, it shouldn't feel industrial. It should feel like warm, cozy, because again, the core mandate of this is to house people. So it needs to be warm and comfortable and inviting. So we looked at materials that we have, which is, you know, we have a lot of wood available. So wood cladding seemed like
the best way.
One of the best options. We're also big on greens and gardening, so we're trying to have a bit more
of that in the space.
A bit more greens and gardening around.
So did you build these chairs, or you had them?
We had them made. We actually got them made like this, so we just brought them in for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's check it out. So there are 4 units here. So you call this what's the name? Pack of 4?
Yes.
It's 2 40-footers stacked on top of each other, divided into 2 units on each floor.
Yes, it is. That's what it is.
So you can take us in there.
Let's go in.
Alrighty. So cute.
So here we are. This is typically how the cabins look like. Again, because we're working with a 40-footer container that's divided into 2. So we have the first wing of it.
Okay.
Basically, it should house, you know, somewhere for the person to sleep. We have a small kitchenette over here, and then we have like something that you can store your stuff in, and also because the place is small, we're trying to not over clutter, and then we're also trying to make it as functional as possible. It's about a little less than 14 square meter space, so we had to try and fit in the bathroom and a place to sleep, and then, you know, a place that you could sit and and then obviously like somewhere that you could do, you know, light sandwiches and all of that. We don't have a cooker, a full cooker. We don't want that kind of activity in the spaces.
Just somewhere to warm food, coffee,
so stuff. Just.
I like this little detail here. Did you design this intentionally?
For now, yes. So this is always be bought. If you go to the next unit, you see that we used this all through.
Oh wow! I can't wait. That's cool.
So I guess in a way to connect the two.
Okay. Okay. And then we see you use louver blades instead of the sliding. That's to maximize the ventilation flow.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm a huge fan of louver blade windows. I don't believe in sliding windows. I don't think they are made, you know, they're properly suited for the kind of climate that we have here. So again, when I started, I was talking about, you know, how to make it as comfortable as possible for people who are going to be in the space, and we need to make sure that there's thermal comfort, right? So you need to make sure that there's air that can pass through, like as much as we can, and louver blade seemed like, you know, the best option. I know it's not as common now as it used to be, but it worked well, and so we just stuck with that.
I think it also fits your aesthetic very nicely because it runs all the way from the top to the bottom. So from outside, it looks really nice. Yeah. I like the look of it, and then it gives you a very good amount of airflow into the space because you have a fan.
And there's also a small window there. There's a fan, there's the AC, so that you are...
So it's not hot in here.
Yeah, so that you're just
well ventilated.
Aside that, we also had zinc insulated as well.
Right. Tell me a
Right,
bit about that, the insulation you used in this space.
So we used rock wool. So it's a mineral fiber. You put it in between, and it's extremely high, flame and heat retardant. So you place that in the sheets in between before you even begin to clad and all of that, so that it keeps what's outside, does its best to keep it out, and then maintain what's inside, so that you don't have it boiling.
What did you use for your ceiling?
Plasterboarding.
Yeah. Okay, and then
all the walls, everything is plasterboarding.
It's interesting. You can check out the other space. Oh, let's talk about your floor before we go.
Sure.
So, what tiles are these?
These are just regular ceramic tiles. The one upstairs is a little different, but these are just regular ceramic tiles.
Talk about this door, your choice of door.
This was a detail that, I had to fight for because I didn't want to completely close it up and have us forget, and because it's opaque you don't see through, but it also allows light in, so you don't have two segregated spaces. So we just chose to keep it as, and then this is the bathroom space. It's a very cute small space, but it does what it's supposed to do.
Very functional.
So
I think the use of the lighter tiles makes the space look bigger than it is. It makes it much larger than. It's a good size.
So that's about this.
Very functional, very cute. Yeah.
This is.
I like the light detail as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
On to the next. We see that every cabin is named. Is there a story behind the names?
Yes. So if you know the traditional Ghanaian game Spa with cards.
Okay.
Yes. So you have the club and the hearts and the different cards that have their different names. I think there are 4 major cards. So we just thought it would be an interesting twist because that's a Ghanaian version of cards, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about your staircase and then this backup water I see here.
You had to dig and anchor and then weld it onto here so that you have a good balance. Yeah, and then for the water, so we have, initially we had just one, but then we realized at a point that it wasn't enough at a point because there was a period where they were shutting down water, so we had to just get an extra one, connected it so that there's always water flowing inside the cabin. So we have a pump that pumps it up as well, so the pressure is fine.
Okay. So let's check out.
Let's go in.
So this is the other unit. I like it. Let's talk about your cabinet.
So we used what's called as OSB board. A lot of people are scared of this material. They think it's not water resistant, but we got it from a source that they have it compressed with resin, and it's very waterproof. So they even use it outside, right, to do their external cabins. So, and it has a very controversial. Some people see it, they don't like it, others do, but
I think it's lovely. It's different.
It gave it a different, touch, which is, I think, is valuable. So
your tiles here are different as well.
Yes,
this is parquet.
Yes, this is parquet. It wasn't it was just a choice. We just wanted to see exactly what would work, what wouldn't work, and so we used that. And I think at the time too, it was a little maybe a cost factor as well.
The louver blades let in a lot of natural light as well, and it's very breezy.
We're trying to keep it as open as possible so that you don't feel like you're in a cage or clustered in. So as much as we can, all the details that we could put in so that you feel comfortable in the space, we just try to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us about preparing the container for fitting. what went into that? You
Okay.
know?
So
Treating it, all of that.
okay. So we had when they came in first. You need to. First of all, you need to inspect your containers, make sure that there's no, holes or leakages or breakages anywhere. Those things would destroy you fast. So you make all those, if they are, you'd have to do repairs to that before. And then we had it coated over, just as an extra protection against the rust and all of that. Yeah. Then once we had the structure up, we start, like I said initially, we started working on the inside. You need to partition. You have to put in the insulation before you close it up. You do your wiring and your plumbing work, etc.
Nana, please talk us through your electrical wiring and the electricals for these units.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because we had priorly designed and we knew where everything was supposed to be and fitted out, we just, while they were laying out the plasterboarding, after we'd done our installation, we just had the cables drop where we wanted them to be, all our sockets and the plumbing. And we tried to keep it streamlined. So for instance, the plumbing is all on one side and lights work. So after you're done with that, we just sealed it up and tucked it nicely. We're not believers in chunking and all of those things. So it has to be thought through before you start and finish.
So you know where everything is as well.
So that was the process for that.
Okay. Yeah, let's check out the bathroom.
Sure.
After you.
Okay, so this is, the other layout for the bathroom space. The layout, again, is the same, essentially, for all the rooms. It's just this has a bit of different furnishing details, but essentially it's still your...
Same thing. I like these windows that you chose to use here. It lets in so much.
It does. So again, it goes back to how we don't want you to feel boxed in when you are in here.
To push out fresh air, a lot of light.
As much opening as you can, so you can feel free. You can slide down and be looking out
outside.
It's
cool. I like it. Then you have your TV right next to your bed. That's also an interesting light.
Yes.
Okay. It's really cool. This is about 14. Same as the one below.
It's the same. It's the same sizes for all of them. It's just variations of the other one and this.
Okay, Nanefua, so for something like this that we're standing in, this studio 14 square meter unit, how much would it cost us if we wanted just this, the same thing?
Okay, so for an identical one, it cost us a little less than $8,000. We're going to run it up to just about 8,000. That's as at mid last year, right? And that includes like the inception, straight from design process all the way down to having running water and so that's about how much it costs us. Yeah.
So that would include the bathroom, the AC, the fan, everything that we see in this unit.
What you see right now, the bed, all the furnishings.
All the furnishings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about $8,000. Okay.
Let's round it up. Keep it at 8,000.
So if we wanted the entire concept, this entire complex that you've built, we'll just multiply that by 4, or that would have to include the cladding and all of those things.
You could multiply it by 4, yes.
Okay. And that would work for the price of the entire structure.
Yes. There's some there's some things that you could save on, economies of scale and things if you're doing more than one. Yeah. So but for now, let's just keep it as.
Okay. And if we wanted a bigger unit, a 1-bedroom, you could not partition it and then give us an open space that would be much larger than what we currently have.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. And then we could go higher as well if we wanted another floor.
That would work. Containers are like Lego, so you can have fun with the structure and build and play around. You just need to have a proper structural foundation and all of that.
So the higher we go, does that affect the type of foundation that you build?
Ideally, yes. You need to go, if you're going higher, you need to go deeper.
Right.
So.
Afua, we see over here you've used very modern, simple burglar proofing because this
Yes.
is the ground floor, but then that's not on the top. That's
No.
also very different. So this is for security.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the safety of these containers when your guests are over here. Yeah, tell us a bit about that. How safe is this?
I mean, it's relatively safe. It's a gated, secured unit. There are people around constantly. We have cameras around. So, you know, people are assured of safety. There's no reason to be worried or concerned about anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. So this, when we look at it completely, it looks like a house, really. So this could easily be a 4-bedroom house, a 3-bedroom house. Talk us through coming to you for something like this. If we were interested in getting a home built instead of an apartment complex, what would that process look like? You know, getting you to help us with that.
So first we'll need to sit down with you exactly what's it that you want, what's your lifestyle like, and then we build something to suit you, something that's catered around you.
Right.
So based on the information that you give us, then we come back with a solution. Like, this is what we think will best for you, best to work for you.
Okay.
For your lifestyle, we think that this, you know, this solution would be better. Let's do it like this, and of course you give us your feedback. Okay, can I add this? And then we work on the concept. When we're done with the concept, we take this to our external, like the contractor and the architect, so they give us a blueprint, and then from there we take it.
Okay. Okay. So what are the alternate cladding options you could give us?
We could also look at alucobond, the metal sheets. They come in different colors and different, you know, patterns. So that might be something interesting to look at. Aside the wood that we're comfortable with, there's also you could use cement boards so that you don't even see the you know, container. It just looks like a regular wall.
Okay.
On the outside.
How long did it take you to put this up?
In total, about 4 months. Let's say.
Okay.
There wasn't. It could be done quicker. There wasn't any. We had like a long timeline, and then we had a few interruptions in between. But in total, from start to the end of it, yeah, about 4 months.
4 months. Okay. What were your challenges working with the containers? Like this build, what were some of the challenges that you faced?
There's so many hiccups along the way, but so I think let's start from the beginning. Design-wise, right? We know, okay, this is it. We have people that might be coming to stay. How can we make it as comfortable as possible? We don't want to twerk with the form too much. We want to keep it as the thing. So we had to go back to the drawing board, look at concepts that would work, bring in the containers in, even for like the actual construction process. Was also, you know, there was a hiccup there because when we bought it initially, like, we had so many wires hanging around. We couldn't, it wasn't, so we had to call all these different telephone guys. Please come and take your wires. We want to. So, you know, there was a few small stuff, but in the end of it, you know, you find a solution, you find a way to mitigate the issues. With water initially, I mentioned that so as soon as you realize, okay, this is a problem, you solve it as soon as if you see it coming at you before to solve it,
right?
As and when. So we've had, you know, it wasn't a completely smooth run, but yeah, as soon as it comes, we just try and.
So with your cutting and your stacking, everything went smoothly. You didn't have any challenges carrying it into this residential area?
Carrying it took us about, that's what I said. It took us about, you know, like to finally have it stacked up because it's, okay, so this is a residential, it's a quiet area, so the trucks coming in on its own was, we had blocked a few roads, you know, but when it did come in, and then now we couldn't just haul it over, we had all these people's wires, so we had to stop and then find out, because we can't just tear the wires. There are people that are using them for different things, so we had to pause there again, had people come do their installation. Then when we carried it in, stacking it itself was a day. all of that was done in, but all the build-up leaded to that, and then after that we had to like rejoin all the wires, refix the gates, things like
Wow,
that.
that's dramatic.
It was, it was. If it was, I guess, open land, you don't have any issues with anybody.
Yeah,
you
wouldn't
just
have.
go and move. Yeah, but we had to make sure we didn't disturb too much, ruffle everybody else who's around already around.
Yeah.
So that's.
For this particular project that we're on, we see that this is behind somebody's home. We're not going to show that for privacy reasons, but then we can see that there's a home here and then you just built this structure right behind it. So we see that we can put containers anywhere. So basically, if we had a home and we have a bit of space behind, you can work with any amount of space really and put up these kind of structures as long as the container can fit on it.
As long as it can fit on you. I mean, you need a certain clearance between your exterior wall. You need to figure out where your lines are running. So if you have the space, it's going to work. There's no qualms about that.
So if you have a space and you're looking to put something residential behind, maybe for a guest, maybe you want to run an Airbnb or a short-let sort of thing, you can definitely contact them and they'll build something like this and put it behind your space for you.
Wherever your space is, yeah.
This is definitely something that you could consider if you were interested in investment options, using a more affordable option so that you can increase your returns, basically. Yeah.
If you're interested in exploring, modular units with a container, you can reach out. Our contact details will be underneath this video. So you can reach out and just say, hi, we'll get back to you and start talking.
All right. Okay, Nanefa, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having us and walking us through this very beautiful space. We'll definitely be staying here. We'll come here and be your private guest. All right. Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, bye.
All right.
If you're interested in these units or something similar, I will leave the contact information for Nanefa and her team in the description box below so that you can reach out to them. If you found this video interesting or helpful, don't forget to share with your friends and family that may find it useful. Hopefully, I see you in my next video. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and an amazing life. Bye.